We kind of cover this in the auto actions and referrals, but we're going to comment on a few more things, and that is how to manage your referral program. Of course, the first thing is you want everyone, when they add a new deal, they type in the decision maker's name. And by the way, they can type in more than one name, but you type in the names involved. And then you come here to source. And this is where there's a drop down there, and all your users can select where did the business come from. I like to think of it. Sometimes people get a little confused, but it's whatever originated the deal. What caused the person to, what was the moment it went from being a one-way conversation to a two-way conversation? What was the originator of that? So that's what the source is going to be. For referrals, there's a referral drop down, and then a second one. Well, let's just do it real quick here. So, all right. So they add the person. They come down here. Referrals. There you go. So once you select referrals, then here we can start to type whoever referred it. And let's say it's Donald Duck here. You mark that. And now you know where it came from. And they can continue to fill the rest out, or they can just hit save. But what that does is, as long as they do that every single time, and don't ever let people skip that, because what's going to happen is you nurture those referrals. They're going to get used to you acknowledging a referral. And if they send a referral to you and then they never hear back from you on it, that could be a problem. So, and don't make it complicated. Don't make it their job or the person's job to tell you who sent it. Like, what I mean by that is, don't tell the people sending you business, hey, you need to fill this form out, or tell me, or email me. I mean, you can allow that for them to send you a lead. That's great, but don't require it. So you want all your people, every time someone calls in or emails you or this or that, the sales agent needs to say, or whoever makes sense, maybe it's the receptionist, whoever, but hey, how did you know to call us, or how did you know to contact us? If it's not obvious, and make sure that you can get, if they say, well, a friend sent me, don't let your agents just type referral and friend. That's not going to work. You need to know who that is. So push, hey, well, we really want to send a thank you card out to them, just to thank them for helping us all out. Do you mind sharing this or sharing that? And really push for it. And if I guess there might be a few where that's, maybe they just refuse to share it or something, and that's fine, as long as your people do their very best to get that information. So get that information, and then make sure everybody's putting it into the ad deal correctly. And then, of course, what's going to happen is you're going to have somebody assigned. We'll get into how to do this, but you're going to have somebody assigned to go through and actually do whatever you want them to do for your referrals. So it'll show up here in this list. They're going to go through and send these off to whoever's assigned and mark these off. The way you set that up, I kind of show it in the auto action section, but you go into accounts here and you go to auto actions, and you can set those individual. If you want something to happen at a certain stage of the pipeline, then you set it up here. So I think this is probably the more valuable. This is what you're going to, if there's anything, if you're just brand new and starting, come here, hit add, click new here on status. And that means that every single new deal, no matter how far it gets in the process, you're going to acknowledge that referral. And so you'll hit new, because that's when you want this to be created, is when the deal is new. You don't want to wait for it to be quoted or bound. Rather, you want it to be brand new. Then you're going to come here and you'll click referrals under source. And then you're going to name your action, in a way that's descriptive of what you want to have happen. So it could be text a thank you, or send a thank you card, or email a thank you, whatever that is, something that's descriptive. You could add a few notes here, and then you assign it to whoever you want, and how many days after it is entered at this point, how many days after it meets this criteria do you want this action to pop up on the list to be done? And so you can do 0. It's defaulted to 1, but you can do 0, and that'll work. 0 is today. So you can see here a few examples. This one in this little sandbox here that we have for demos. New referral, text thank you to refer. So the idea is to text to a referral, and then a gal named Cassandra does that. And how many days later it will immediately. I think this one says new as well. The idea here for the demo was, let's say it's quoted, let's say that it is actually presented to somebody. So, hey, not only was it new, but now, and you got the text when it was new, but now that we're actually delivering a quote to them, we're going to send you a gift in the mail. And, the idea here with this agency is just that even if it's new and you quote it and you bind it all the same day, they'd get a text that day, but something in the mail a couple days later. And then they get an email if it was bound. So it's kind of cool because they get a few different forms of communication to make sure the referrer saw it. And anyway, so that's kind of an idea there. But just start out with one thing. If you're just getting going, do one thing. Hey, it's text a referral. Maybe, don't wait to figure out what kind of gift you want to send or anything complicated. Just do something, get started, and then you can add to it later. So that's pipeline. What stage in the pipeline are they generated things? This is where you can. This is definitely where you want to start. But you can also add something where, okay, with referrals specifically, do we want to give them a little extra gift after so many referrals? So let's say, an example here is, okay, after 5 referrals, maybe you have. This is just like I say, a sandbox. But maybe you send them a hat for 5 referrals, and maybe after 10 you send them a t-shirt or something. I don't know, whatever it is, but you can kind of do that kind of thing. Or you could say enter into a drawing, and then you could see everybody that's done 20 referrals and maybe do a drawing at the end of the year or something like that, or some special gift. So that is the referral program. If you do this consistently, you get this in here, have somebody assigned that is reliable that can go through and get that done consistently, so that all people that send you a referral are getting acknowledged for that referral or something is happening. Then you will start to see referrals go up. There's a whole mini course in here about how to come up with a referral program and kind of some tips and tricks we've learned over the years that work. I'll just mention really quick, even though this is a click here, click there type video, go check that out. It'll kind of talk about the difference between family, friends, and clients and how you want to treat those versus maybe business connections. So maybe say if you're doing personal lines, maybe loan officers or, somebody that's maybe catering professionally to the same target demographic you are or whatever. There you can set up a different type of referral. So go into that, check that out. It goes into some really good things. Why maybe offering pizza to your clients can actually backfire depending on what kind of target market you're going after, things like that. So really good. Check that out.